The collection's called Strong as Fuck. Of course I'm gonna make a video. What is up, BuffBunny fam? You and I here again can only mean one thing. Another launch, another collection. This time, the Strong AF collection. I'm using AF so I can cut down on the expletives. Although, if I'm gonna use them, I'm gonna save them for when we talk about the Miracle shorts and the Miracle leggings because Strong AF is the second collaboration that BuffBunny has done with the one, the only Miss Bailey Stewart, the expert on all things bootylicious, quite literally Princess Peach, or as I like to call her, the Cheek Executive Officer. And she's been in collaboration with the BuffBunny design team for over 2 years to really try and perfect these Miracle Seamless shorts that are coming out this launch and the Miracle Seamless leggings. And I gotta tell you, they delivered on all fronts. Well, on all backs. They delivered. And I personally am not like a booty compression legging kind of girl, but I gotta tell you, after this one, perhaps a little conversion is in order. I don't know, did they get me? They might have. Stay tuned. No, I'll get into it, but they are fabulous. You know what? That's a perfect segue. Let's just get into it. Let's go ahead. That's why you're here. Let's go ahead and start. So first up, of course, the Miracle Seamless shorts. These are quite literally a push-up bra for your butt. These are BBLs in a waistband, and that is exactly what you should be ready for. Some BBL accusations, and with pride. I think if you got some junk in the trunk, yeah, why not? Like I said, these have been in the works for 2 years. So this is 2 years worth of adjusting and feedback and fixing. We did see Miracle Seamless leggings first appear in Juicy a little over a year ago, and then come back again at the beginning of the year in Unbreakable. And I really feel like the third iteration, these are the ones that are worth, I think, the price point. And I gotta tell you, these are the best that they've done. And what I do love about these, again, shape seamless fabric, super soft and super stretchy. Out of the seamless fabrics that BuffBunny has, shape seamless I think is the best to work out in, and my personal favorite, just because it's so soft and it's so easy to move around in. Again, raving about the shape seamless fabric because it's so stretchy and so soft that these really did not pinch my thighs in any way, which I was really, really surprised about. Typically in a seamless short, I'll get a lot of pinching, especially on that inner thigh or right beneath the glute, and it'll just make me feel really self-conscious or really uncomfortable. And I didn't have an issue with these. I didn't have an issue with the seams rolling up. I didn't have an issue with any kind of bubbling over in my thighs. Another thing that I really like about the shorts is that we've got a little bit longer of a waistband that is also compressive, not overly compressive, so it's not gonna snatch you in like the shape seamless bodysuit, but it is compressive, so it does help with a little bit of tummy control. Personally, I like a waistband that sits a little bit lower. That way it covers this bottom area of tummy where I've got some loose skin and some fat down there, but not overly compressive. So I don't feel like I'm suffocating. I don't feel like I can't breathe in these, and I don't get any rolling or excessive pudging out of the side because it's overly compressive. I think it sits really nice on the skin, but just gives me that little bit of extra compression just right where, like I said, I need it in that lower belly area. These are listed as a high rise, which I think are really, really nice. It is a 6-inch short, so they are a little bit longer. I would have loved to see these in like a 5-inch or 4-inch, but I think 6-inch is nice, and 6-inch gives me enough fabric to where I don't have to worry about something like camel toe. But of course, the magic itself is in the compression paneling in the back. We've got a double compression panel, which is really responsible for that lift and tuck that you see in the booty cheeks. The paneling starts along the side of the thigh and then curves underneath. So you've got a tighter compression right under the glute cheek and another band right under the top of the thigh, which really helps just compress everything and then push it into this pocket here. You can see in the shape of the shorts how you've got a loosened pocket right above the compressive panel, and that really is to do as it's instructed, to push everything up into that space. I will say they have adjusted the glute sizing here, so I believe with Juicy and as well in Unbreakable, you saw a lot longer of a pocket here. I think they've shortened it just enough, and with this seam here, that it really complements a lot of glutes. I know even myself, I've got a longer glute insertion, and even I felt like there was a lot of excess fabric, and it was kind of hard. Like once it was in place with earlier iterations of the Miracle Seamless, once it was in place, it was like, do not move, otherwise it's gonna look a little funky. With these, I don't feel like that's a problem. And I will say, I have worn these and the leggings themselves in multiple workouts, many leg days in these, and I didn't have any issue with this part of the glute seam moving, slipping around, messing up the contour, it falling down and ending up in a weird spot in my thigh. These really stayed place. I was extremely impressed with them. Again, not a huge compression short girl, but I can't lie, these are really great. These are great. I will say, let me just put this out there. These are phenomenal at doing what they are advertised to do, yes. However, they do call for a lot of attention. So if that is not something that you're looking to do, pass on them. Because there are some times where even I will put them on, especially depending on like where I'm going to work out, what time of the day I'm going to work out. You know, sometimes if you're working out late at night and now all of a sudden you're walking across a dimly lit parking lot by yourself and something like that, you know what I mean? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So that's just something to consider. As somebody who clearly needs a lot of attention, I don't like a lot of attention. So user beware with how much you want people to look at that specific body part. But also like, do you know what I mean? Wear it and feel great about it. For sizing, I would say true to size 100% all the way, true to size. I would not size up. I wouldn't size down either. Some people, I will say, some people do size down because they want extra compression to really suck things in and push it up as much as possible. I just feel like if you size down in these, you're gonna deal with some sheerness, especially if you're doing any kind of lower body movements like a squat or a hinge or whatnot. In my true to size, which is a medium, I didn't deal with any sheerness in the gym when I wore them. I was just really, honestly, so surprised by these in a good way. I think that these are great. And I think if you were on the fence about them, I would say just go ahead and try them. So along with these seamless leggings and shorts, we also have a few seamless bras coming out as well. The one that I got is the Plunge Seamless. We first saw this in Juicy. There have been some alterations to the straps and the neckline. I will say, BTC beware. She is very booby. In fact, I am not comfortable wearing this just in regular fashion. I did find that if I crossed the straps in the front, it brought in that neckline just enough to where I didn't feel like if I breathed in a different manner, or God forbid if I sneezed, that a nipple would come flying out. So that is quite literally the only way that I can wear this, is with maybe a jacket or if I cross the straps in the front. But she is she's very booby. I do love the colorway that I got it in. This is in the Sage Ombre, and I think that with the matching shorts it is very pretty. But I gotta be honest, if you are a smaller chested girl, by all means, I think it is super flattering. I think you've got a very nice cleavage moment going on. All the athletes with smaller chests who have put them on, I'm like, I'm so jealous. I think I'll definitely still wear it. Just, I can't work out in it. That's a risk. I'd have to get an OnlyFans to work out in it. There's no way. Another seamless sports bra that we got is the Halter Seamless Sports Bra. You guys know I love a halter. Fun fact about me, if it's a halter, I'm gonna get it 100% of the time. You cannot stop me from wearing halters, especially a halter for a back day. There are a few things better in Brittany's book. It does come with an adjustable strap in the back. I have already removed that strap from every single of the halter bras that I own. No surprise there, but it does come with a strap that you can tighten for some additional coverage or some additional lift. Again, because this is shape seamless fabric, these are super, super comfortable and super, super stretchy. I didn't have any issue with the neck strap being overly compressive or like overly tight. I didn't have any issues there. I just think she's a really great bra. I do like her quite a bit. We've got some detailing here, some scrunching. Some scrunch ruche, which way are you gonna go? Some ruching, a ruche detailing here in the center, which I think just brings the eye in a really, really flattering way right to the center of the bust. I do think that these will work for girls who are larger chested as well, because we've got just enough coverage in the cup that you don't have to worry about spilling out anywhere. The neckline isn't overly deep. And then, like I said, because it's just a little bit longer, not a true long line bra, but a little bit longer than your typical short line, you do get some extra coverage. I will say I would stick true to size on this. I think the seamless fabric, again, really soft, really stretchy, really forgiving. So I think you can stick true to size and just be really, really comfortable. This is a top pick for me. I like this. Speaking of things that I love, let's just keep it rolling because I love this next item, these seamless long sleeve tees. This comes in a long form as well as a baby tee version. These are, oh, these are so, so, so good. This is a top pick. If you are not a seamless fan and you think you're gonna skip this launch, I am telling you, if you get one thing and one thing only, oh, the seamless long sleeves, absolutely love these. These actually first came out in Sugar Rush years ago, but they had a cutout in the back of them, which was nice for showing off the sports bra, but it just wasn't super practical, especially if you were trying to wear something in the colder months. And it wasn't that great just sort of out and about. I just didn't want my back exposed that way. But these, oh, these are so, so, so great. So this is the Synergy fabric, which is a seamless fabric, but is a lot lighter and I feel like a lot more forgiving than something like your typical shape seamless or form seamless. Very, very fitted, very, very soft, and very, very sweat wicking. So this is the perfect workout tee. And because the Synergy fabric is so stretchy and so soft, I personally don't have any issues with the armpit being too tight. So it's very, very lat friendly, very, very bicep friendly. So if you are broader in the shoulders or you carry a lot more muscle, still feels super comfortable, just super, super breathable, so easy to work out in. I cannot wait. I will be wearing these throughout the entirety of the winter and well before and well after. I cannot wait to see these return in more colors. I would love these in a neutral. Look, the brights have been great. It's been a fun ride, but I would love to see some neutrals. This in a neutral, would eat. Would love it. Nom, 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 nom. But these, honestly, no notes. These are a 10 out of 10. And again, come in two lengths, which I think is really nice. So you've got the baby tee length, which falls right at the top of the hip, and then something that pulls down a little bit lower, which I've been really loving with the Halo baby tees. And I'm so, so excited that we got these in a long sleeve as well. I think you can stay true to size in these. I would say size up only if you don't like something that's very, very fitted against the skin. This fabric is really, really, really forgiving and just so soft and so comfortable that even if you were to stay true to size and wanted to size up, it's not like you're gonna feel uncomfortable. It's not gonna be overly tight or overly loose. It's just really, really well fitted. So add to cart. So we'll wrap up our tour of the seamless with the Miracle Seamless leggings. It's pretty much exactly what I said about the Miracle Seamless shorts, except now in legging form. I think these are great. So I will say the big difference that I noticed between the shorts and the leggings is that the leggings do fall a little bit more mid-rise. So they're not nearly as high-rise as the shorts, and they're definitely not as high-rise as we saw in Unbreakable. So like I had mentioned, I was not a huge fan of the Miracle Seamless and Unbreakable, but these, I gotta admit, these are great. These are really, really great. As some of you know, my huge critique for the Miracle Seamless leggings, especially in Unbreakable, was that they just didn't stay put during a workout, and I refused to work out in something that I had to constantly readjust or move around. And I gotta say, with these, the way that they shorten the glute seam and how compressive it is underneath, like these completely stay put. In fact, we had done a BuffBunny content house, and one of the days was a BuffBunny boot camp. And so we were doing all sorts of shit that I don't normally do. We were doing like bear crawls up a ramp and jumping squats and jumping jacks and planks. And point being, is that I was moving around all over the place, and there were like rounds to each of them, all timed. And so I didn't have time to stop and readjust and put it back in my, but I didn't need to. I mean, it stayed through all of it. And I was really surprised because it was an excessive amount of movement, more than I would usually do, and didn't budge. So I'm gonna be honest, I was really, really, really impressed by those, because I would not work out, and I have not worked out. I've got Miracle Seamless from Juicy, and I had Miracle Seamless from Unbreakable, and never touched them to work out in them. But after wearing these, I would. I really would. I think if you have held out on Miracle Seamless, I would say this version is by far the best version that they've done, especially for working out. Yeah, I just think, I really, really think that they're onto something special here. I will say, I am kind of ready for us to like move past this obsession with butts. I gotta put that out there. Like, these are phenomenal. Please, 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 if you are even on the fence about getting them, I implore you to try them, because they're great. But I will say, I am looking forward to the day where we can just have a shape seamless legging again and no butt stuff. So now we'll move on to all things butter fabric, starting of course with the aggressive scrunch shorts. You guys know I love aggressive scrunch. I love all things aggressive scrunch, and I love butter fabric. Me and butter, like this, baby. I love, 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 love butter leggings, butter shorts. They're just super, super comfortable. Again, that very much a second skin feel and a dream to work out in. Just a word of caution, I will say that there have been a lot of complaints about the butter fabric pilling for some people. That's not something that really happens with me. I'm not sure why that is, but it is something that has been seen across the BuffBunny community at large, is that the butter fabric does tend to pill for some people. That aside, like I said, I just think butter fabric is so, so great to work out in. It's such a no fuss fabric for me. The aggressive scrunch I think is really, really flattering because it's got a hidden scrunch in the glute seam, which I just think is really nice. I know I talked about the Miracle Seamless kind of drawing a lot of attention to the butt. This does it in a lot more subtle way, so that you're getting just a really nice emphasis on the natural curvature of the glutes, and I don't think it's like overly done. So that's what I love about these. These are a 7-inch short, so I always feel really, really comfortable with these. I don't have any rolling issues, and I just think that they sit and scrunch and bunch just really, really nice and perfectly for me. Next up in the butter family tour, we have the Curve Sports Bra, a huge favorite of mine. No surprise there. Brittany, we know you love butter and the fabric as well. This is a high neckline sports bra. I personally love high neckline sports bras. I think they're super, super flattering. And my favorite thing is a no fuss kind of outfit that I don't have to worry about adjusting or spilling out or having to rearrange, and a high neckline does that for me. I think it is so flattering on the shoulders as well, and I love that it's just a simple racer back design in the back. Very, very flattering, especially for us girls who have larger lats. I will say this does come without pads. There are no bust pads. There are pockets, however, if you would like to put pads in yourself, if you've got extra pads around, or if you use something like cakes. I typically just go without pads. Pads drive me crazy, so I always take them out. So the Curve Bra, of course, its namesake comes from the curve at the bottom of the bust, which I think is really, really flattering, especially paired with a really high neckline, and to pull the eye inward right at the curvature of the bust, I just think is so, so flattering, and just a really, really nice silhouette. And I think, again, it's great for a shoulder day. I am a huge, huge fan of the Curve Bra. I will say I did get this in an extra large. So the Curve Bra itself, for girls who have a larger chest, typically I would recommend sizing up, just because even though it fits normally across the bust, once you lift your arms up, say for like a lat pull or any kind of overhead movement, this can lift up a little bit and you might get some under boob spillage. I do wear this in a large as well, and I don't have a huge issue there, but I tend to get an extra large just to make sure it's not an issue, get a little bit roomier underneath the bust. So I would say size up if you're larger chested, otherwise stay true to size. Next up, we have the Butter Bandeau Adjustable Crop. This does come with an adjustable strap that I've taken off for the video. It's also what I'm wearing here. The adjustable strap is a halter strap that attaches to the side. We have seen an improvement on the stitching inside. I believe during Juicy, when these first appeared, some people had issues with the adjustable strap not being secure enough and then ripping out at the top. So they've really secured these enough to where, like I said, I took off the strap, and getting the strap on is a lot of work. So I think I'll just keep it off. The nice thing about the bandeau top is that it does have a silicone banding all across the inside just to make sure things stay in place and they don't slip down. So it gives you a little bit of a grip to suction to the skin so that you don't have to worry about things falling down, or you're not constantly pulling it up. It also has a shelf liner on the inside. So again, if you're larger chested, I think with or without the strap, you should be okay. I would say true to size. I did get this also in an extra large just to free up the lats a little bit. For me personally, because I'm wider in the back, anything with a shelf liner is gonna cut me off in the lats. So I tend to go up a size in that. And what I found is, because it's butter and butter fabric is very fitted, that I didn't have to deal with excess fabric on the body just because I sized up for extra sizing in the waistband, in the chest band. I love this top as like a lifestyle piece. I think it's super fun. I'm not a huge fan of working out in a bandeau. I will work out with the adjustable strap. That's all good. I'm just not crazy about working out in a bandeau because, as I mentioned, I'm a no fuss kind of gal and I don't like to readjust all the time. But I think as a lifestyle piece, the bandeau with like a pair of jeans or a pair of shorts, is so nice. I've been wearing the out of these. I love these as a lifestyle piece. I just think they're really sexy. I think especially if you've got like some really nice shoulders or some really nice arms, I just find them to be super sexy. Like, I feel strong AF in these to show off my upper body a little bit while still keeping that really sleek and sexy feel. I think these are great. I love these. And again, perfect to kind of wrap up summer in something fun like this, a bandeau top. Last but not least, we do have the Glow sports bra, just another sports bra that's really sleek and really sexy. I wouldn't say it's the most compressive thing in the world. You're not gonna get a ton of support with this. It does twist in a very sexy way right at the front. I also really like crossing the straps in the front. I like the way that looks. Although, again, buyer beware, I'd be worried about wearing these for like a regular workout. So they're gonna be very specific workouts that I wear this in. Certainly not something that I can move around a whole lot in, and unlikely that I'll wear it without something covering on top. But I do really like this bra. I do think it's a very sexy bra. I think if you're a smaller chested girl, you're gonna have a lot more success with the Glow bra. And I will say, even if you are bigger chested, much like the Plunge bra, I found that crossing the straps in the front gave me a lot more coverage and a lot more confidence in how stable things were. So I would recommend giving that a try as well. I think the back detailing is really sexy, and I think paired with the front detailing is very sexy as well. So I think it's a very appealing bra if that's the case. But I will say, if you're looking for something really functional or something with a lot of utility to it, this probably isn't the one for you. I wouldn't say this is a top pick by any means, but if you're looking for something that's really fun and really flirty, then yeah, Glow's your girl. So that concludes all things strong as. Hopefully you found this video informative and it helped you expand or diminish your list. Either way, sorry, not sorry. So now we've reached the end of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and put out my top 3 picks for those of us that are on a bunny budget, myself included. So top 3 must-haves in case you're really trying to figure out what you can get the most wear out of. Number 1 should be no surprise here, the seamless long sleeve, the full length or the baby tee. I just think that those are so great. Again, we're talking about functional, we're talking about utility, we're talking about things that you can get a lot of wear in, we're talking about just pure matching with a lot of colors. That is number 1. I would say if you get nothing else, I would get that one. That's the one you're gonna use over and over again. Number 2, I'm throwing a seamless in there. Seamless shorts, seamless leggings. If you haven't gone for it, I would say go for it. I think now's the time. Again, I think this is the perfect iteration, the perfect version that they've put out. This is coming from somebody who did not like the other seamless versions and did not recommend getting the other seamless versions. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the list and say, if you haven't done it yet, go for it and just see what you think. And let me know what you think. Shoot me a message. Let me know. Or in the comments here, either way. Number 3, she's gonna go butter. Of course she is. I'm gonna go butter Bandeau, actually. I just think it is such a nice piece, purely based on how many times I've worn mine over the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's gotta be up there. I mean, it's probably pushing for number 1. I just think it's super flattering. It's super, super comfortable. I've had so many compliments just wearing it out and about. I can't say enough good things about it. Honestly, I love the butter Bandeau. So I would say those are my top 3 picks if you're on a bunny budget. Which colors are you gonna get? Don't ask me, because I'm struggling with the 17 different ones. I don't know what I'll do. Somebody, one of you, I need one of you to help me on my list. Anyway, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Strong AF collection is launching Saturday, August 16th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do have a code BEST, if you wish to support me. I greatly, greatly appreciate all of you that do, and anyone who's here watching the video or who interacts with me on Instagram or used to interact with me on the Discord, RIP. Please, again, like I always say, if you have any questions or are still curious about sizing or fitting or colorways or what have you, anything BuffBunny related, please feel free. Leave a comment here, shoot me a message on Instagram, and I will try to answer your question to the best of my ability or point you in the direction of somebody who can. Feel free to reach out at any time for anything. It doesn't always have to be about BuffBunny. Just leaving that out there. Anyway, let me go ahead and zip it up, and I will see you guys at checkout. Again, August 16th, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I can't wait to see your butt. And I mean that.